Hey guys, Joga Bonito here. This YouTube stuff is, yeah, let me know if you want some of the bloopers on my intro. Some funny shit in there. Right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the preview to the upcoming season and what my view and my take is on the top six, how they're shaping up, and sort of like my general gist of how they might potentially look like and end up performing for the rest of the season. It's going to be, in a sense, probably 6 points, and they'll probably end up being kind of like my order of what I see them finishing like at the end of the season. There might be one or two changes here and there in terms of like where some teams finish or not, but essentially Manchester City, Liverpool, United, Tottenham, Chelsea and Arsenal are going to be the top six this season. It'll be hard for anyone to kind of break through that group, but I'll go down and then I'll go into detail about into each one of those teams. And yeah, let's see what we can come up with this one. Right, number one, potential champions, and just how flippin' awesome Man City is going to be like this season. They've got another year under their belt. They've got an amazing team with pretty much two world-class players in each bloody position. It's still a relatively young team, but if you look at the potential and the fact that they've got another season under their belt, God, like, have mercy on those newcomers into the Premier League. Talking of Jesus, Jesus Gabriel need to step his game up. Kun Aguero's amazing. He's pretty much like a sort of like Premier League legend in the same form that Joga was at Chelsea. Kun Aguero is pretty much the same thing at Manchester City. He's still doing it, he can still do it. Still one of the most lethal finishers in the Premier League. But Gabriel Jesus is probably the closest thing to the future and the inheritor of that title at Man City. So he really needs to push on and really have a quality season. That probably looks at around 20 goals minimum and at least 10 to 15 assists. Otherwise, a 30 goals season is kind of expected from the main striker at Man City, considering the amount of talent they have behind them. Again, the depth is going to be super crucial. Bernardo Silva is going to kick on. Riyad Mahrez is going to add like a filthy amount of depth to that squad to what already they have. The creative flair behind Gabriel Jesus or Kun Aguero is insane. Bernardo Silva had a pretty decent World Cup. He's going to progress again. He's got a sweet left foot. Then you have Mahrez, you have Thiago Silva, you have Kevin De Bruyne, you have Leroy Sané, you have Sterling. It's insane, and they're going to kick on again. Probably going to be a very easy one for everyone. The team to beat, both domestically and in Europe with the Champions League. The guys over in Spain having a little bit of tough negotiation with this whole summer. We'll see how Barcelona adjusts. We'll see how Real Madrid replace Ronaldo. But Man City is going to be definitely one of the big teams going in, both domestically and internationally. Point number two, and team number two, and probably the ones that will push City the highest, and I'm a little bit biased here probably, but Liverpool. You'll all enjoy watching this team, I guarantee you. Starting from the back, you have now the completion of that long-term problem post Reina with the arrival of Alisson, world-class goalkeeper, world-class fee too, but Kepa kind of showed that that's where the market's going. I'm not going to complain too much. In front of him, you have Van Dijk with a full pre-season, well adjusted to his surroundings at Liverpool. He'll hopefully teach Dejan Lovren a little bit more about defending, and then they'll create some sort of partnership. But with the addition of Fabinho and Keita into the mix, that's a very, very fucking strong spine with Firmino at the helm of that. And something Liverpool and, well, let's just say we haven't had since the Gerrard, Alonso, Reina and Torres and Suarez era. We have not had a spine that strong for a long time. Speaking of Keita, wow. I've been waiting for this guy for a whole year, and he's gonna give Klopp's gegenpressing a complete new level. This is like the missing piece to winning that ball high up the pitch and basically being already at the goalkeeping goal line. It will help to be a little bit more attacking in a sense of when you're playing against the smaller teams that will defend a lot and push a lot of guys back, push the lines back, put a lot of men behind the ball. One thing that I feel like Klopp should have done a little bit better last season was to be a little bit more gutsy in his tactics and in his setup against the smaller teams, just to break through that defense ASAP and then, hammer it home, hopefully. But again, I feel like that gegenpressing is just going to evolve to a new level, and you're going to see the full maximization of a short burst from winning possession to basically scoring. Salah's probably going to get a little bit more attention, a little bit more love from the defenders' boots. I probably wouldn't put all of my eggs into that Salah basket if I was defenders or opposition, because you still have Mane, you still have Firmino, and you're going to have Keita pushing up. And I'm not sure who they're really going to play number 10. Personally, I would give and I would trust Fabinho and Keita with the midfield, and maybe even have Shaqiri playing as number 10 and having that free role in front of our top three, just to really break down those small teams. Risk it, get that goal early, let them come out, and then play our normal game. Against the bigger teams, maybe be a little bit more reserved at first. Have Fabinho and Keita holding down, and potentially even Wijnaldum to add a little bit more solidity. Have the Ox to have a little bit more energy, and there's a little bit of options there, but definitely against the smaller teams, I'd probably be a little bit more adventurous in the way they'd set them up in midfield. Still feel we're a little bit light on the left back options. Robertson is a very solid player, a little bit like Milner. He's probably always going to give you 7 out of 10 in every single game. But if you really want to push on and you're really talking about world-class positions and taking that next step to be top elite level football team, probably want someone a little bit better at left back. So Robertson, very good player, not necessarily in that world-class bracket, maybe. Sorry, bro. But Alexander-Arnold hopefully pushes on again. Massive talent, develops, has so many attributes you want, not from just a defender, but an all-round footballer. Started as a central midfielder when developing at Liverpool, hence his passing game's pretty damn good. Dude can even take free kicks as a 20-year-old. So really expecting his progression to go up to the next level. Probably not quite world-class level by the end of this season, but I mean, he had a fantastic 12 months. We can't expect too much, and I really hope that Joe Gomez comes through this season as well. I think he's got all the attributes again to be a class defender, and I hope he gets the chance to kind of show that this season. Again, hopefully we can challenge the blue side of Manchester for the title. We'll definitely be up there and probably the closest rivals to them. And more, I think, more importantly for the Red supporters in Liverpool, I think we're looking forward to that first title under Klopp. He really needs to win something this season to kind of justify a little bit the financial outlay he had, but at the same time just show that progression of the team. You can't really say that it's a developing team anymore. A lot of the pieces that were needed were fixed this summer. It's time to push on. It's time to really challenge, which we did last season, to be fair. But you need a title. You need an FA Cup, Carling Cup, whatever it may be. We need to get a title under the belt to then, give further credibility to this group of players that I think are going to be proving a lot of value for money when you're going through those gate receipts. Right, now over to the red side of Manchester, and okay, not my favourite side to kind of talk about, but okay, let's give it a go. Not a great pre-season, a sense of deja vu considering they were pretty much in the same sort of situation last time out 12 months ago and the beginning of the previous season. Mourinho has already pointed out the fact that there's going to be difficulties this time around. He didn't really get the targets he was looking for. There was a bit of lack of support from the board. I'm not too sure what kind of difficulties they had trying to source those players. I feel like Mourinho must have gave them the list a while ago, but either the targets were too ambitious or they just really didn't move quick enough, or maybe the World Cup made it really difficult to try and get those really high quality players. They have an amazing squad, so improving it, not that. I think for me, one of the main problems will be their fullbacks. You have Ashley Young and you have Valencia, who are both 33 now. They're getting on a bit. They're losing a little bit of the sparkle, and they just really can't compete with what the other top 6 options, especially in the top 3 kind of sides that I'm looking at, and the kind of quality that they're playing with. This just doesn't really cut it and won't really compete on that level. My fellow Portuguese, Dalot, who's a very interesting and very talented young player from Porto, could surprise a few, but I wouldn't put too many hopes on it. But who knows? Maybe the Portuguese connect will help him adapt and will help give a little bit of love from Mourinho to him, and he could potentially do pretty well at right back. Let's wait and see. Right now, for I think one of the key sort of wins that United could do is having Lukaku, Rashford and Sanchez play together. Just give them 5 games in a row in the beginning of the season. Let them build that chemistry. Let them play together. And you probably have one of the most devastating attacks in Europe. If they can gel and they can play in the right formation, they have the right movement, a little bit like Liverpool do, with not so much set positions for players, but allowing them the freedom to kind of explore the way that they could open up a defense or just let them play their game. And if they can do that and they can gel, then we all know what Mourinho can do in terms of like a tactical masterclass and holding the fort down, parking the bus, Air Force One, whatever he decides to park on a given day. The dude can shut down any team. So if you've got an attack force that can counter anything can happen, and United could get their shit together in time to rival Liverpool or Man City this season. Right, let's move along pretty swiftly to our 4th team. Tottenham will pretty much be treading along. Difficult situation for them right now, moving into a stadium. Maybe the World Cup, maybe the right deal wasn't there for them, so they couldn't really do much in the transfer market. Mario just simply forget about the lack of signings. They have a tremendous amount of quality in their side, and the fact that they managed to keep most of their players intact is probably just as good as a win of trying to sign someone for 50 million and you're losing someone that's worth maybe 70 or 80 million in the form of Kane or Dele Alli. Again, same message. Expects more of the same from Tottenham this season to last season, and they'll have a little bit of a challenge from Chelsea, I think, to get that last spot for the Champions League, and it'll be an interesting tussle. I mean, I'm not really saying that the top 3 are ironed down and then everyone else is fighting for the same. I just feel like in terms of quality and the development of each squad right now, I see Tottenham and Chelsea fighting for that last spot of the Champions League. I think one of the main points for me, I really like Dele Alli, but I think a lot of people are putting him in that world-class bracket. I think he really needs to have a season where he's getting double figures on both goals and assists, and probably those double figures need to start with a 2. For him to really make it onto that level. He needs to be scoring 20 goals, 20 assists to really put himself in that Hazard and those top number 10 positions. And just that little bit of an end product and consistency is what he's missing to really put himself out there and join that elite number of players that really excite. Kane will keep bringing on the pain. No problem on that front. Right, moving on to team number 5. Chelsea's transition. Sarri, interesting acquisition from the Premier League. Looking forward to watching him. He's a mercurial sort of manager, a little bit of a nutty professor, and I think Chelsea also like those type of managers. It's flipping amazing having him in the league. I'm looking forward to it, but he has a lot of stuff to fix. I just want to give out a quick shout out to that midfield. Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic. That's spicy. I'm liking how the balance there is looking like, and I think there's a lot of potential there. And then you look at the guys I'm about to talk about that's probably going to sit on the bench, and they definitely have a pretty damn good squad. Again, it'll depend on what he does with them, who he sees as more favourable to whatever tactical system he's going to opt for. But he definitely has a lot of options to play with and can pretty much go with whatever damn system he wants to play. Kepa, a great long-term solution for Courtois, who's now just left for Real Madrid, but already has the quality to really pick up the slack left from Courtois, and I think will be a great addition. I have a funny suspicion that David Luiz will come back into the fold and will have a pretty decent season, and Ethan Ampadu will probably surprise a few people with his performances. Really good young talent, highly rated, at least from my side, and hopefully they can give him a chance. I think Sarri will come in and kind of give everyone a chance, and I think we might get a bit of a surprise from Ethan. Again, guys, Barkley, Bakayoko, and Fabregas on the bench, potentially a mix of those. Like, what a luxury. It's a really good squad, and I think Sarri realizes is in a challenge. He kind of had a similar work to do at Napoli, and from the beginning he told the president that it will take them, he'll lose the first 7 games. It was pretty close to that, so he's got pretty good insight, and I think he knows what he's playing with, and he knows he's got a challenge. Again, he probably won't be challenging at the top end of it, but it could really go either way with Chelsea, but I expect them to be somewhere in the middle there and probably end up being 4th or 5th on this instance. My suspicion is that we'll be enjoying Chelsea's performances on and off the pitch, so have the popcorn ready and enjoy the show from the blue side of London. Right, we're on to choice number 6. Last but not least, Arsenal, the Gunners. For me, like, it really boils down to a little bit of a lack of quality now. Wenger really probably left one of the worst squads in the hands of Emery in his last 22 years at the helm. I mean, not since you had people like Senderos did you really have the squad this bad. Saying that, you never know. They brought a few new faces through. If they really have a miraculous gelling session and they absolutely love each other and perform some magic on the background, they could do something interesting. I'm still forecasting them to finish around 5th or 6th. It's just going to be tough to get all of those guys organized and really get them to perform at the level that's really going to compete with a squad like Manchester City, Liverpool's, United's, or Chelsea's. Like Lichtsteiner, Socrates, and Torreira, the last two give a lot of solidity in the middle of the park, and I think Arsenal kind of missed that last season when Koscielny was out for a couple of games, and some experience on the right side of defense for Lichtsteiner. So I think that'll be a good plus. I just don't think there's enough from the remaining buyers to do it. Leno is actually a pretty decent goalkeeper, but probably around the same sort of level right now. Obviously one for the long term, but right now probably around the same level as Petr Cech. So not too much of a quality uplift there, but still could be interesting. And again, it's good to get that quality into the Premier League, and I'm looking forward to watching him play and seeing what kind of thing he can do. Final point here with Arsenal is some of the talented young players. Guendouzi, Maitland-Niles, and Nelson, really good young players. I really hope they get a chance to kind of shine. Again, Emery might be working some magic there, but it's a little bit too early to be kind of expecting full results from them and end product, given their age and kind of lack of first team opportunity. But again, very talented young players. Looking forward to watching them play. And hopefully the transition for Arsenal isn't too bad, but I wouldn't be expecting too much. Bit of a long video, my first session of this length. doing what I'm doing right now. Still a little bit new to me. Hold tight, guys. Don't judge me too much. Be nice with the comments, but do like, comment, and subscribe. I am giving away a couple of merch, so you get free t-shirts I'll be giving away in the next month. So I'll be posting some things upcoming. I hope you like. I hope you tell me why you didn't like. Put your comments and put your suggestions on how you see this season coming along. Drop them down. I'll have a look. We'll have a little bit of interaction down there, maybe a little bit of banter, and pick it up on the next video. Till then, Joga Bonito.